Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. The Warriors haven't made any moves, and that's upsetting fans. Signing Chris Middleton is a great option for the Warriors, should he be available. As it relates to potential free agent targets for the Golden State Warriors, all eyes are on Boston Celtics center Al Horford. However, there's another asset the franchise should keep tabs on this summer. From Blue Man Hoops GC Bellchambers' point of view, the Dubs should be open to signing a former Milwaukee Bucks NBA champion guard who's past his prime. After parts of 11 seasons with the Milwaukee Bucks, Middleton was shockingly dealt to the Washington Wizards in the middle of last season as a result of the Bucks' tenuous cap situation, Bellchamber wrote last Sunday. While it was an unfortunate way for the relationship to end, Middleton performed well in Washington, averaging 10.7 points, 3.7 rebounds, and 3.4 assists through 14 games with the Wizards. However, now that Washington has evidently decided to move forward with their young core, having also moved on from veteran guard Marcus Smart, Middleton could be the next in line for a buyout. Middleton, who is on the final year of a 3-year, $93 million extension he originally signed with Milwaukee, would bring an instant veteran presence to Golden State's frontcourt, shoring up some of the uncertainties surrounding young wing Moses Moody. When Middleton was at the top of his game, he complemented Giannis Antetokounmpo well in Milwaukee. The smooth and steady 6'7" forward earned 3 All-Star invites and played an undeniably significant role during the Bucks' recent title run while competing with the franchise. Middleton averaged 23.6 points, 7.6 rebounds, and 5.1 assists per game as an electric 2021 postseason performer, connecting on 43.8% of his field goals and 34.3% of his long-range jumpers. Although the Texas A&M product is declining in his early 30s, he could serve as an underrated number 3 or number 4 scoring option with the Warriors this upcoming season. Time will tell if Golden State feels the urge to bring Middleton on board this summer. Golden State Warriors refused to trade 2 stars to Sacramento Kings in Jonathan Kuminga deal. Steve Kerr is a big fan. The Golden State Warriors won't entertain trading 2 of their stars to facilitate a Jonathan Kuminga deal. The Jonathan Kuminga fiasco has defined the Golden State Warriors offseason. The two sides have been going at it over a new deal. The Warriors offered Kuminga a $45 million contract, which the young star rejected. Despite Kuminga not having any other offers, he is standing his ground. One of the reasons he turned down his contract was that Kuminga refused to give up his no-trade clause when re-signing. Another presumed reason could be that Kuminga reportedly wants to earn $30 million per season. It's looking like Kuminga's future with the Warriors is bleak, and the team will have to trade him away. But there are 2 players who won't be part of the package. Golden State Warriors won't give up Buddy Hield and Moses Moody. According to Brett Siegel of Clutch Points, the Golden State Warriors will consider a sign-and-trade with the Sacramento Kings for Jonathan Kuminga. However, in an effort to match incoming salary, the Warriors refused to attach either Buddy Hield or Moses Moody in order to make way for Malik Monk. The main roadblock is matching Kuminga's outgoing salary and remaining under the first apron, which would force them to part ways with either Moses Moody or Buddy Hield if they were to bring in Monk. This isn't something Golden State has any interest in doing, as they view Moody as an essential secondary contributor who can fill many roles in Kerr's daily rotations, sources said. Trading Moody is not a path the Warriors want to go down at this time, especially given their lack of wing depth, as reported when discussing the latest Kuminga news with my good friend Alan Stiles at Sacktown Sports 1140 on Friday. Mike Dunleavy Jr. wants Jonathan Kuminga to return on short-term deal. Siegel added that the Warriors have shut down talk of a sign-and-trade deal and want Kuminga to return to the team so they can trade him later and maximize his value. No movement has been made from the Warriors' point of view on the Kings' latest offer, and the Dubs have put more pressure on Kuminga to return by cutting off discussions of a potential sign-and-trade this offseason, sources said. Not enough value has presented itself to the Warriors for them to move off Kuminga, which is why they want him back on a short-term deal. It's hard to determine where Kuminga will end up, as both he and the Warriors are standing their ground. Kuminga and his agent warned the Warriors he wouldn't back down. Keep an eye on this situation between the two sides, as things continue to escalate between them. The Golden State Warriors' big Jonathan Kuminga problem. Jonathan Kuminga may want to leave the Golden State Warriors, but it won't be easy. The Golden State Warriors are caught in a staring contest with restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga. The Warriors would like to keep Kuminga before he leaves for nothing, but Kuminga has had issues with Steve Kerr and his rotations and would like to play elsewhere. But the Warriors hold most of the leverage. Brett Siegel of Clutch Points has revealed that this seems to be headed toward Kuminga likely accepting a contract extension at some point. Whether or not the Warriors slightly change their contract offer to Kuminga, it is believed that Kuminga will ultimately blink first and accept Golden State's offer, something that could have been done weeks ago to avoid all the unnecessary drama. Accepting the qualifying offer is always an option, something that could be happening for restricted free agents like Cam Thomas, but Siegel believes that's unlikely at this point. It just makes zero sense from anyone's perspective for Kuminga to take this one-year deal and try to increase his value in a tough situation, which is why all roads still lead to a reunion between Kuminga and the Warriors. This has been the likeliest scenario since before free agency began, as his market was dry to begin with. Because the longer Kuminga waits, the more his value declines. It's a mental game. Taking the QO would be a terrible decision, as it never works well for RFAs wanting to be paid. He could take the QO, but as we've reported a few times now, it seems more like a bluff. The last reported offer from the Warriors to Kuminga was 2 years, $45 million. It's not quite to the $30 million average annual value that Kuminga was searching for, but it's a good middle ground. They could even add a trade kicker in the contract that could give the 22-year-old more money in the event he's moved. It would also give Kuminga the chance to prove he's worthy of a bigger, more lucrative contract and to test the market again in just 2 years. If he has the seasons that he thinks he's capable of, he should be able to get a contract worth more than $100 million. Why are the Warriors playing hardball with Jonathan Kuminga? Despite Kuminga expressing desires of playing elsewhere, the Warriors don't seem interested in letting that happen, but why? Siegel reported that the Warriors made it clear before the offseason began that they would not let Kuminga walk for nothing, and they will fully utilize leverage with him being a restricted free agent. That is what has occurred, as the Dubs won't be talked into a sign-and-trade scenario they do not like, and they still have plans to utilize him during the 2025-26 season. It's been difficult for Steve Kerr to balance winning while developing players like Jonathan Kuminga. Moses Moody was able to crack into the rotation last season, but Kuminga's playing time was yanked around. Granted, his ankle injury didn't help matters, but it was tough for him to get in a rhythm. Kuminga showed some quality play in the playoffs once Stephen Curry was out with his hamstring injury, averaging 20.8 ppg in the second round against the Minnesota Timberwolves, but he'll have to show better consistency moving forward. NBA Insider says Warriors' chance of landing 30-point-per-game NBA champion is alive. The Golden State Warriors have been keeping tabs on the NBA stars who might ask for a trade. Just like they did with Jimmy Butler when he asked out of Miami, the Warriors are trying to keep their options open in hopes that another star will want to join Stephen Curry in Golden State. It's no surprise that one of the biggest names linked to the Warriors' trade rumors has been Giannis Antetokounmpo. Every team in the NBA, besides the Bucks, is hoping that Giannis will ask out of Milwaukee and become available on the trade market. The Warriors are no exception. They've reportedly been interested in trying to trade for Giannis for years, potentially to their own detriment. Now, an update on the chances of a Giannis trade request has brought new life for the Giannis Warriors rumors. Shams Charania of ESPN recently reported on the possibility of a Giannis trade this offseason. Sources tell me there is nothing set in stone about whether Giannis Antetokounmpo wants to stay in Milwaukee or whether he wants to leave elsewhere. He's been evaluating his future this entire offseason. I reported, he's open-minded about whether his best fit is in Milwaukee or is it a trade elsewhere. That process has been continuing. For Golden State, this means there is still hope for a Giannis Warriors trade. It is probably still unlikely. Unless Giannis names the Warriors as his preferred trade destination, There are multiple other teams that likely will be able to outbid the Warriors' offer for Giannis. Hope, however, is real. The Warriors may continue to try to keep cap and roster flexibility on the off chance that Giannis does become available. Whether this is a mistake or not remains to be seen. However, if keeping their hopes alive for Giannis ends up allowing them to land him, it will all be worth it. Warriors miss out on another big man target after former Raptors champion signs with Celtics. The Golden State Warriors have had a disappointing offseason thus far as they have failed to make any additions to their roster outside of the 2025 NBA draft. Of course, the Warriors were expected to be aggressive this summer to upgrade their roster around their star trio of Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green to chase a championship next season. Instead, Golden State has missed out on multiple free agent targets as they continue to await a decision by restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga. Despite this, it has been reported that once Kuminga's situation is resolved, the Warriors will make some additions to their roster as they already have deals in place with a couple of players. While that may be the case, Golden State has missed out on their fair share of free agent targets thus far, and they missed out on another one on Tuesday. Chris Boucher signs with Celtics. According to ESPN's Shams Charania, former Toronto Raptors champion Chris Boucher agreed to a one-year, $3.3 million contract with the Boston Celtics on Tuesday. Boucher's signing in Boston came just minutes after Charania announced that the Celtics had traded Georges Niang and 2 second-round picks to the Utah Jazz for R.J. Luis Jr. While this move is a solid one for the Celtics as they add a big man to improve their frontcourt depth, it is yet another big man that the Warriors missed out on. Of course, Boucher had been linked to the Warriors for most of the offseason after Golden State failed to land any other big men earlier in the summer as they try to address their issues in their frontcourt. Now Boucher will head to Boston where he should have a large role with Kristaps Porzingis and likely Al Horford gone. While the Warriors did miss out on bringing in Boucher this summer, his signing in Boston does point to Horford's departure this summer, which is a great sign for the Warriors as they have emerged as the top landing spot for him in free agency.